Yeah. This is Tactical Red, and you're on Tactical United. And this is all about Manchester United and how we break down what's happened in the last. I don't know. However, everybody who's been watching my YouTube channel knows that I've been only out from March, and I was right as usual. But it is what it is. Like, people don't really have foresight. People are reactionary. People are not proactive. They're reactive. I'm a proactive guy. I see things before they happen. And that's just how I am. And I saw this Ollie collapse happening a long time ago. I said he's a League One manager at best. I said all of this, but I don't need to go on about it because you guys already know. You guys already know. So it is what it is. Yeah, like what I really want to talk about is how we can get Champions League football. And you know how we can get Champions League football? I'm going to tell you guys how we can get Champions League football next year. And people think, are you mad? We can't get Champions League football. Are you nuts? Are you crazy or what? And I'm like, no, I'm not crazy. I actually know we can get Champions League football. So, yeah, the way we can get Champions League football is basically like this. Sacking Ollie. The first thing we need to do is sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Out of his depth, tactically inept. He wants to be the only. He wants to live in the past. He said, Man United is always been controlled by the manager. The manager always has the final say. But no successful club does that anymore because that's not a route for success. It's only successful because Ferguson had been doing it for so many years. So it's not a route for success. So and he clearly doesn't have the nous to make the right decisions. He doesn't. He has nothing really. He's a League One manager. He has no credentials, and he's managing Man United, and it's just soft. He's just soft and weak. He's a weak manager. He's not a leader. No one ever talks about how he doesn't motivate the players. No one talks about that, but is what it is. So get rid of Solskjaer is the first thing we need to do now. Right. Getting a director of football is another thing we need to do as soon as possible. I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know if Woodward wants that. I'm not sure. But that needs to happen 100% because the contacts, the connections, the agents, the knowledge, the connection, the links, everything is through the DOFs and the DOFs team. And we need that. We need that set up. All the top clubs have that. And we're the only one that don't. And we're wondering why we're 12th. And I don't want to hear people blaming the board. It's the board. Because if anybody's watched that Solskjaer interview today or the other day in Sky Sports with Gary Neville, he said that we have money to spend. In January, we have money to spend in the summer. That's what he is saying. He's just decided not to. Like, everyone needs to see the facts. The reality is that Solskjaer has decided not to spend the money, not the board. So all this hate against the board, all this attacking against the board, all this is the board, it's the board. Solskjaer decided not to spend the money. End of. Next, so get rid of Solskjaer. That's another reason because he didn't want to buy a midfield. I mean, he's inept in all areas. Transfers, team selection, coaching, motivation, endearing himself to the fans. He's just crap at everything. DOF. And then we need to get a new manager, obviously. And there's a manager who is currently managing Borussia Dortmund, they're top of the league. He used to manage Salzburg. He got them to the semi-finals of the Europa League. And Salzburg are coming from Austria, which is a nothing league. And he plays a style of football. And he's now the manager of Mönchengladbach, who are top, as I said before. He is a top manager with a style of football. As you can see, Salzburg, his coach, the Salzburg this year have been taken over by his number 2, who just implemented the same thing that he was doing. And you can see what they did to Liverpool. Because no one goes to Anfield and does that shit. But you see what they did. So we're talking about a coach who really does have a style of play and a real identity. And he has everything, to be honest. Like, he's won leagues. He has everything. He is the guy, to be honest. He is the guy. And he's currently at Mönchengladbach at the moment. And he's German. So he might want to stay with Bayern Munich or Borussia eventually, and if he does, he's gonna dominate. He's top level. Yeah, so that's one name I would say definitely. That's my top of the list, and I've done my homework on that. I've done my research on that, and I would take uh, Eric Ten Hag as well from Ajax. I mean, he won the league. They haven't won the league in 5 years, 5 to 6 years. He won the league there with Ajax. Yeah, it's only 2 teams, but you know what? He did it, and he produced young players. He developed young players. He plays a style of football. Look what he did with Tadic, and players like Ziyech and Neres, and Van der Beek and De Jong, and De Ligt. They look at Daley Blinder. He looks like amazing, and it's just the whole team are like one unit, just like Liverpool. Like it really reminds me of that, and I would have him as that would be my second option. A third option, I think that my only third option would probably be the current Leipzig manager, but I think that would be a slight risk, and I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do the Leipzig manager. I mean, probably third option would be Pochettino. Third option would be Pochettino. At the end of the day, he's better than Solskjaer. He could push on to the next level. I do believe it's more risky, but the thing with Pochettino, which I don't really like, is that he's a bit moany and he's a bit moody and he makes excuses and his match. I don't like the final against Liverpool. Harry Kane shouldn't have played, and he played him just because I think he bottled it. Like he bottled it. Like he played him because he bottled it, and this just reminds me of Solskjaer. He just reminds me of Solskjaer a little bit, but he's a better coach and everything like that. But I don't know. I'm not feeling Poch, to be honest. I'm not really feeling him. Not really. People talk about Max Allegri and stuff, and that's a hell no, because he's just a defensive-minded footballer, manager who has no experience in the Premier League, and he'll probably lose, and he probably won't have the patience to build a team. He doesn't have no tactical Italian tactical nous is just defending. But we're talking about attacking now. And Ten Hag and the Borussia Mönchengladbach manager, I think his name is Marco Rose, but I could be wrong. Marco Rose, I could be wrong, but this guy, I think it is Marco Rose. This guy Marco Rose, he's the number one guy for me. I mean, he's number one, definitely number one. So get that manager in. And, we have money to spend. Oli has said we have money to spend. So when they get rid of him, their money's still there. So why we can't trust Oli with this money? We can't. It's just going to go down the drain. Or it's going to go on British box standard players or old Mandzukic. I don't know. Oli said he wants, he said it's all about young players and building for the future. But then he's talking about bringing in experienced players. Confused.com, this guy. I'm telling you, the guy's completely delusional and confused. So we have money to spend, and the signings, I think. I think what we definitely need is a midfielder. That is definite. I'm happy with Fernandes, I'm happy with James Maddison. Either these two, one or the other. But we need one of them. We need someone who can create, score goals, and just be effective in the attacking positions. And these two have it. I don't know why we didn't try to sign Coutinho, to be honest. But one or the other. Then we definitely need a winger. Like a right winger. That is a tough question. That is a tough. I would literally what I would do, I would literally sign 2 midfielders, a right winger, and potentially a striker. These 3, I would buy 4 players in January. I don't care. I don't care. If I'm a DOF and I'm coming in and I'm like, what do we need? What do we need? Well, we need a striker. And I would buy Callum Wilson. he wouldn't be mind playing on the bench. He wouldn't mind playing. He would start games. Him and Martial can rotate the thing, and Greenwood can rotate. Greenwood it should be ready, and he could be ready, but I think he is ready. But I just think the way we're playing right now, it just doesn't suit him or Gomez. I don't think Chong. I never thought Chong was gonna be that, but yeah, Greenwood. I would definitely have Greenwood. I would definitely have like Callum Wilson. On the right, it's so difficult. There's not anyone really out there that I can think of on the right midfield. I'm more inclined to think about like I was thinking Fraser, to be honest. Like I was thinking Ryan Fraser. Just someone who can cross a ball and deliver a ball. Do you know what I mean? Just someone who can just stay there and do a job for now. Until maybe we bring in Sancho, maybe. And that's a maybe. So, we're talking about Ryan Fraser. I can't think of anyone. I think, outside Europe, there must be, in Europe, there must be someone. Obviously, there's plenty. But in my head, I haven't done the research on that. And Ryan Fraser, just because he can come in and do a job and he wouldn't be expensive, bring him in. I would also, we have to treat January like the summer. I don't give a shit. I would also, the two midfielders I would have is, obviously you couldn't have James Maddison and Fernandes. It wouldn't make any sense. But, because I would have I would have Fernandes and maybe this McGinn. Like, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm having I know we need a DM. But I'm like, you know what, McTominay, you're playing DM. Like, you're not an attacking player. Like, you're not good enough. Like, you're playing DM. You're staying there and you're doing a job. That's what you're doing. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you understand. This is Man United. You're going to go around clamping. And I've seen him do it. He did it against Barcelona. I see him do it against Barcelona. He was effective. That's what he's doing. Like, McTominay, that's his job. Like, clamping, tackling, passing, moving. He can score the odd goal here and there, but he's not good enough to play further up the pitch because, he can drive forward, yeah, but for now, this is what his job is. And I'm benching the rest of them. Like, that's it. I'll have, we need two midfielders, just because if we have, maybe Maddison, he can play on the left, potentially, as well. Pogba's injured, or Pogba gets sold or wants to leave, whatever, or play both Pogba, Maddison, and McTominay. McGinn on the bench. McGinn can play certain games. You don't know. At least we have options there, but we have quality options. Get rid of Pereira. Get rid of Mata. Lingard, I don't know, man. Lingard is just, nah. Pereira, Mata, Lingard, no. Fred looks like a flop at the moment. I can't lie, but I think in the new system, he potentially has a role, but right now I can't see it. And yeah, you have to bring in these more signings. So this is how it has to be. And then what we can do, and my whole thing about how we can get into the Champions League is by winning the Europa League. And if we sign players, we can get a chance to win the Europa League with quality players and get into the Champions League. We did it before. We can do it again. As simple as that. We need to be ruthless. We need to be organized, and we need to be productive in what we do. And then we can get to the Champions League. Simple as that. I don't think we can get top four. I think it's too big of a stretch, even though because we're going to lose to Liverpool, and that's more points lost. And then Norwich, if he's still there, potentially is another loss, probably a draw to loss. So it's going to be a stretch top four, but I still think Europa League we can win that. And if we add a few signings and stuff like that, Callum Wilson, Fraser, I know they're two Bournemouth players, but who cares? They score goals. One is like a goal scorer. One I think he was number 2 in assists or number 1 in assists last season. So him, Fraser, assists, Wilson, rotating with Martial. You have James and Rashford there as well, supporting with Greenwood. So you have 4 or 5 players there who can do something. Then you have Pogba, you have Maddison, you have McGinn, you have Matic, you have McTominay. Fred starts performing, but Mata and Pereira are not good enough. They're not. Yeah, and then the defense is the defense. I mean, left back. Yeah, I want a left back, but I don't think that's for now. I think it's for next season. I think we need to still see what Luke Shaw is saying, and then push on from there. And I know he's not really saying a lot, but we need to see. So that's how I see us getting into the Champions League. Honestly, we just need to be ruthless, and we need to be organised. And regardless of the Liverpool game, which we're definitely going to lose, and I'm seeing a 3-0, straight 3-0 win to Liverpool. Like, no, like, embarrassment, booing, like, everyone's shocking. And I don't know if he's going to be able to survive a big loss. I don't know. It's going to be like, what is really going to happen. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, I'm Tactical Red. I hope you guys have enjoyed and have a good day. And today's Thursday. The Liverpool game is on Sunday. I hope we lose. Not really. I hope we win, but I can't see us losing. Can't see us winning. And that's that. That is that, people. So have a good day.